The final session for the forenoon will be handled by Sakthi before we break for lunch. She is a research assistant at the Gharial Conservation Alliance, a project of Madras Crocodile Bank Trust, where they help preserve the critically endangered crocodile species. She has acquired her post-graduation in environmental assessment and management from the UK and has done considerable work in Tanzania. On to Sakthi.
I work with DC. It's part of Madras Crocodile Bank. It's called Gharial Conservation Alliance. At GCA, we conserve gharial. It's a critically endangered species. It's one of the 3 species of crocodilians present in India. World over, there are 23 different species, and India has 3 species, which is the gharial, the saltwater crocodile, and the mugger or the marsh crocodile. So the order Crocodilia has 3 families, which has the gharials, the alligators, and the crocodiles. The gharials are the only species that are sexually, you can differentiate them on morphological characters. Like the male gharial has a gara, yeah? That's where the name comes from. Gara in Hindi means the pot, so the name gharial. The female does not have it, and the male gets it only when it's sexually mature, like when about 15 years. There's a small video on about the gara.
The gara, which gives the gharial its name, is a lump of cartilage which grows on the snout of mature males and plays a key role in attracting a mate.
Their real method of attracting the females is doing something we call a buzz snort. Kind of goes like... Sounds very impolite, but it seems to be very effective, and it's created by the fact that the gara of the male, sitting on top of its nostrils, sort of modifies the sound of its hissing into this very, very weird but effective way of attracting females.
when you compare the size of the gharial with other species, it's among the largest, longest crocodilians. Of the living species, the saltwater crocodilians are longest, and next comes the gharial. The Sarcosuchus and the Deinosuchus are like ancient or prehistoric crocodilians. The skulls were found in Sahara. The Sarcosuchus was found in Sahara, and Deinosuchus was found in the US. So this is the comparison of the differentiation of the three species, of three different types of crocodilians. If you see, the alligator has the broadest snout, and the gharial has the narrowest. With the shape of the snout, it was more it evolved into a more specialized fish eater, and it's the most important diet of the gharial.
The gharial is perfectly adapted to its aquatic habitat. Powered by its muscular tail, its webbed feet and natural goggles make it a swimming machine. It's able to control its specific gravity by shifting its internal organs, rising and falling at will. And its slender snout, with razor-sharp teeth, is the ultimate fish-catching tool.
The gharial is mostly present in deep running rivers, and they also require high sandbanks for basking and nesting. This is more because the water level in the river fluctuates during the monsoon, and when they are nesting, they prefer high sandbanks. So the eggs don't drown.
It's getting close to sunset. I'm kind of surprised, but
documents the
like
nesting of the gharial.
Starting to climb the bank. Just from here anyway, it looks like she's full belly, full of eggs. She goes up in a very jerky way. It's a very steep bank. It's a very steep back. I want to disturb her. And they've got rather weak legs, strong for swimming, weak for climbing up on land. So she sort of unsettled has to slow. The smaller one is now on top. She's starting to scrape sand with her legs. You can actually see, even without the binoculars, sand flying through the air.
The gharial uses its powerful rear legs and webbed feet to excavate a nest pit as deep as its legs are long.
Yeah, she's starting to dig down inside now. You start seeing different color sand coming out. It was dry sand at first. The dark stuff is the damp sand from inside, so she's making her home now.
So the incubation period. And this used to be the range of the gharial. They inhabited in this river, the Ganges and the Brahmaputra, and now they are more restricted to these protected areas, of which the National Chambal River Sanctuary holds the largest population of the gharial. Since I mentioned that I mentioned it being a critically endangered species, the threats are sand mining, people use sand for building construction. So the local villagers who live near the banks of the river start their own business of selling sand. First it was started with little tractors, and now there are JCBs and everything, removing all the sand, and all the high sandbanks are gone, and it's all flat now, and it's prone to all flooding. And the gharial nest, the gharial usually prefer high sandbanks because they don't want them to their eggs to drown. So this poses a great threat. And also agriculture. Near the banks on the water source and the rich soil, fertile soil provides good farming opportunity, and this is a mustard field. So now with all sandbanks gone, the gharials start laying eggs in these sand islands. It's the only habitat that they have left in the Katarnia. This is from the Katarnia Ghat sanctuary that is near the Nepal border. Another threat is fishing. These are local fishermen who lay fishing lines across from bank to bank. They lay nets from bank to bank. So when the gharials are traveling the water, they get caught in the nets and they drown. Sometimes when they get caught, the fishermen, what they do is, in order to protect their nets, they cut off the jaw. And the gharials don't die immediately, but eventually they will because of starvation and drowning. The other threats are dams. Chambal, this is for Chambal river system. Here, the river starts from here, down here, and it travels all the way here and joins the Yamuna. It's one of the important tributaries of Yamuna, and it's comparatively the most unpolluted water source, and these are all reservoirs because of dams. And this is Kota in Rajasthan. It's a Kota barrage, and from there the canal system starts. This left canal and the right canal, and you can see how extensive this system is. So all the water gets drained into these canals, and they're going to all agricultural fields. So the water inside the actual river, is very less. Gharial is an animal that needs deep rivers, and it favors deep rivers. So movement from one place to another place becomes difficult. Another one, I said it's relatively unpolluted, but it's a very sensitive animal. So during 2008, there was a die-off where more than 100 animals died, and there were autopsies done on the animals, but we are not able to pinpoint on what the reasons are. But we believe it's because of some toxin, and this is a clipping from a documentary that explains.
The Chambal River Sanctuary in northern India is home to nearly half of the world's population of wild gharial. But as Ron had learned, 10% of this vital population has died in sudden and mysterious circumstances. the jungle, site of the winter dive, to follow up on the mystery. With the arrival of warmer weather, the gharial deaths appear to have stopped, and through study of their autopsy samples, the vets may have reached a breakthrough. They have discovered that the white powder observed on the gharial's organs is crystallized uric acid.
Uric acid is not very soluble. And at a certain level, it reaches saturation. And when it reaches saturation, it crystallizes out. Okay.
The amount of uric acid in the blood is controlled by the kidneys, and when levels are this high, it points to kidney failure.
Expected the kidneys are an essential organ in gharial, just like they are in any other animal.
When uric acid builds up in the joints, it causes gout, a debilitating condition that in a reptile can be deadly.
An animal with this kind of thing cannot move its limbs anymore, so they can no longer go onto the sandbank to bask and water, and very often they cannot even control their swimming because they need their hands and feet for balancing.
Wow. That makes it even sadder in a way, doesn't it?
Yes, very sad.
Filmed during the dive, these images show the death throes of a gharial crippled by agonizing gout.
If you see the historical range, as I showed in the previous slide, was from Pakistan, Nepal, Burma, and Bangladesh, of which the population in Pakistan is extinct, and Bangladesh, we're not very sure there are any animals there. On Burma, it's the same case. There are no gharials in Burma. So the only stronghold is the Chambal River Sanctuary, and there are a few other places where there are like tiny populations, like 4 or 5 adults that are still there. And if you see here, this is the one. All the green patches are the left habitat as of now. So GCA was established in 2004 by the crocodile specialist group in order to conserve crocodile gharials. And at GCA, what we do is population surveys to monitor all the gharials and see if the population is thriving, and we also are looking at places where they are not being reported, just to see if they are viable, if it's a viable option to reintroduce them there. And we are also creating a spatial database, which I am currently working, which will digitize all the protected areas and pump in data on nesting sites or other environment or other habitat destruction, in which where places in UP has more fishing happening, places in Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh there are more sand mining happening. So this will give you a visual picture where you have to do your conservation efforts, and each place will have a unique approach, and all these threats have to be like but yeah, the next one is education. Involving the community is very important in any conservation effort. In here people are taking up more sand mining because it's more profitable. But here we are also trying to find out alternative livelihoods, which will like take them away from sand mining. But it's a very difficult process where when sand mining is giving you like sand is giving you a lot of money, but other livelihoods would not be like a favorable option for them. Another project at GCA is radio telemetry, where we have tagged about 20 animals and just to study their behavior and how they use the river. So this you see is the radio tag, and we also have visual tags like this, so to identify the animal. And this is how we track people go on along the banks of the river with these antennas and see how they are using the river. And out of this study, there have been behavioral observations also, where here this is a male gharial. You can see the gara here. And the male gharial is actively involved in taking care of the hatchlings. And this is one of the routes taken by a tag gharial, where one traveled back downstream. Yeah, this is our website, and this gharial info and chambal info are most databases which has literatures on all these animals, and the chambal one has more specific information about the chambal sanctuary. Thank you. Questions?
What is the current population of gharial right now in India?
According to the net list, it is 100 adult gharials, but we don't really agree to that because we think it's more than 2,500 across the range.
So what is the procedure to count them?
You have to go into the river, do a boat survey, or walk along the river counting them.
That will be tedious also because every gharial will look same, and how to do that?
These gharials, with the radio telemetry project, we have found out that these populations of gharials are restricted to some places, like population from this end of the river won't mix with that end. So when you are going there, survey is always you can't count every animal on the river. So with the number of sightings that you see, you come up with a number. So you can't really spot everything, and there are hatchlings, yearlings, and adults. So it's very difficult to come up with a pinpoint number.
So the gharials are found only in the regions that you show, right?
As of now.
So has there been the effort to pull them out of that habitat and see if they can be conserved elsewhere?
Extensive conservation efforts, like at Auckland we have a breeding population, and elsewhere in the world as well. But it's better if they are found there. Why would you want to pull them out from there and so it's better to conserve them in their own environment, and that's how every other conservation program works. Anyone else? We haven't still found out since autopsies were done. But all these gharials were all as the documentary said, they were all degraded already. It was there for a long time, so you can't do autopsies and find out what the reason is. Of the fresh autopsies that were done, they couldn't pinpoint reasons as to which was, because gharials are the only ones that died. So there are other animals that are present in the same region, like the turtles or the birds, they're also fish eating, but it didn't affect them much. But the gharials, we don't know. Maybe they are too sensitive to some toxins. We are not sure what the reasons are. Yes. And also it happened during a specific time of the year, during the winter. Reptiles being cold-blooded or poikilothermic, they need warmth from the sun and to regulate the body temperature. So if they're sick and if there's no warmth, the situation escalates. So even if there's a small amount of toxin, maybe they got weaker over time and died during that. Yes. There are a few. This happened near the confluence of the Chambal and the Yamuna. So maybe there was some toxins from the Yamuna, or the fishes from the Yamuna came into Chambal and the gharials. We are not able to like pinpoint reasons, say this is the reason.
How can we volunteer for this?
At GCA, you can help us with field work. There are surveys happening. You can come help us with that. If any of you have any kind of experience with spatial software or anything, you can come help me creating the database. And you can also come volunteer at ProcBank. ProcBank has a more expansive volunteer program. Just being part of ProcBank makes more sense that you come volunteer there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakthi. I'm sure most of us have been to the crop bank before, but we haven't really put a thought to all this. Thank you so much. So your tummies are grumbling now? So we break. I request Nandin to give away the memento to Sakthi. People who have not donated blood yet, I request you to go to the hall and donate blood. We break for lunch now. We gather back at 1:30. Thank you.